So this is the Ray-Ban Meta smart glasses, the Wayfair edition, and they kind of suck. And I'm going to go over all the reasons why, but I have more bad things to say about this than I really do good things. And that is unfortunate. I'm really considering returning these. But before I do that, I wanted to make a video on it to explain why, because I feel everywhere you look, these things are just overhyped and everybody talks about the cool features. And I think most of these people are just trying them out. But they're not having them for a while, and I've had these for a couple weeks now, and they do a lot, but the problem is they don't do a good job at any one of the things that they do. So let's go ahead and open this thing up and let's get straight into it. Okay, so first of all, the one thing they did do great, and it is amazing, is the case. And the reason is because it looks just like a normal glasses case, okay? But as you can see down here, you have the Type-C charging port, and then you right here have the Bluetooth connection button. And then when you open up, this is magnetic, so there's no button. It's just magnetic, and there's an indicator light to tell you if it's charging, if it needs charge, yada yada, if it's connecting to Bluetooth. Open here, it says Ray-Ban Meta right there. And then the cool thing is it's magnetic, so if I turn this upside down, it's not going to fall out. Even if I shake it, you have to really pull. It's actually really strong. You got to give it a good pull to get that out. If you see here, there's these little prongs. So that just charges it, like when you pop it in there, like that, it's gonna charge it. So that's really cool because there's no really added bulk here. It just looks like a normal case. And that's awesome. I mean, they did the same thing with the glasses. Like they're smart glasses. They have speakers, camera, but they don't look like it. They just look like normal glasses. They did a great job there. But let's go ahead and jump into what is wrong with these. And I'm going to start with the smart because that's the main thing these are supposed to be good at, right? That's why they're called the Meta smart glasses. But the smart features on this are horrible. They suck. Okay? And I'm going to explain why that is. And so the main reason is because it is 50-50. When you put these on, you're supposed to say, hey, Meta, and then talk to it. But it's really 50-50 on the answers you get. Not just the answers you get, but I mean the smart features working at all. And so what I mean by that is like, let's say I want to translate something. Like that's pretty important in my opinion. That's a big reason to have smart glasses. So you can look at something, like if you're looking at text you don't understand in another language, you should be able to look at it and say, hey Meta, translate this for me. But it won't do it. Either if you ask a question that's too complex, you'll just see the indicator light here on the inside. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it will just like, it'll blink and then you'll hear like a little deet, 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 and then it would just go off. You'll say, hey Meta, you hear it turn on. You ask it a question too complex, you'll see this like blinking like it's thinking and it will just go off. It won't tell you like, oh, I don't know that, or it won't give you anything. It'll just go off if you ask it a question that is too complex, which in my opinion is pretty ridiculous for smart glasses, right? If this had something integrated in like ChatGPT, I think it'd be so much better. But using Meta, it's horrible. It can't really do much. I know you guys have seen videos of like people looking at stuff and it'll say, hey Meta, what am I looking at? Yeah, it'll snap a picture and give a little bit of a judgment what you're looking at. But is that really useful? If you're blind, maybe. If you're blind, these can be amazing for you. I would assume. I'm not blind, so I don't know. This is not a blind man's review of these. But for the majority of people who are going to be using this, the smart features are just not enough to even really utilize it. So I'll give you an example. I don't know if I'm going to put these on, and I don't know if you guys can hear this at all, but let me put this on and then I'll give you guys a demonstration. Okay, so I have a simple, probably the most simple phrase in Chinese one could say, and let's see what Meta comes up with. Hey Meta, translate this to English. It's just blinking, blinking.
Bluetooth reconnecting. Try again in
that's the other thing. You can't use this without Bluetooth. You gotta have Bluetooth to your phone. Fair enough. Fair enough. I wish it had some kind of offline capabilities. You could add a SIM card or something, but no. Anyways, maybe I'm asking for too much, but let's try this again. Hey Meta, translate this to English.
I can't do that on your glasses.
And there you go. It cannot do that. So what can we do with, okay, so we know it can't translate. It can't translate. That takes a huge box for me. That's just makes these not smart. Like, what kind of smart technology in 2024 can't translate? Almost 2025, right? If this is ChatGPT, it would be able to translate that. But not only that, people say you can continue a conversation with this. You cannot. Okay, and I'll give another example of that as well. So if I put these on and I want to continue a conversation, here's what happens. Hey Meta, how are you doing?
I can't do that on your glasses.
You can't tell me how you're doing? And it's gone. It's gone. See, so like normally they say you can continue a conversation with this. You can't. It'll pop up and then it will go away and it's weird. All right. It's literally a 50-50. And I have not found a case where I've actually needed these. Even having these for weeks, I've not found one case where the smart features have been useful, mostly because they're not really smart. If it was ChatGPT, I'd be talking to this all day long, but it's not. It's Meta's smart stuff, which is not even smart. Okay. It's like talking to a child. I don't know. It's really bad. You can't continue a conversation with it. It doesn't remember what you say. So if you lose the conversation, you got to start all over again, and which looks ridiculous because you're just like saying, "Hey Meta," over and over and over, and then you just realize, wait, it's easier just to pull out my phone and Google this because this is it's horrible. The features on this are horrible. Anybody who has these knows what I'm talking about. If you're getting these for the smart features, don't. Like, it's not worth it at all. Okay, so let's talk about what else you could get this for. Let's talk about the speakers now. So the speakers, the sound quality is actually really good. The sound quality is good, but the volume is horrible. So to turn these up, it has like a touchpad here, which is really cool in my opinion. So you can just slide this up, we'll turn it up, and you slide it down, turn it down, and you can just tap it to pause, tap it to play. That works about 75% of the time. Okay, you'll get in moments where you'll try to tap it, and it will make sounds, but it won't pause your video or anything. And then the volume normally works all the time. So that's really cool. The fact that they've put that touch feature in here and there's no buttons at all. That's awesome. Now let's go back to the sound. So the volume is really, really low. Even if you turn these all the way up, you can't hear it if there's any external sound. So if you're in an area where there's a little bit of noise, it's very hard to hear what your glasses are saying, even if it's all the way up. Now, if you're quiet, if you're just out walking in a park or you're walking somewhere, you can hear it. It's very easy. You could take phone calls, and that's awesome being hands-free on phone calls because it's really, really nice to listen to something without being separated from the rest of the world. Okay, and that is pretty important, for me, especially if you have a family. It's nice because normally I would wear headphones if I want to listen to a podcast or I want to listen to an ebook because it's just not convenient to like carry your phone around to your head all the time trying to listen to something. But the problem with headphones is that it separates you from the outside world. So it's very hard if somebody calls your name, if there's something going on, maybe you're walking on the road, you want to be able to hear cars coming, it separates you from the outside world. And that's what I like about these is that it doesn't do that. So you can wear these and walk around and you can still hear what's going on around you. And you can also hear the stuff that's going on here. But again, if there's a lot of external noise, and it doesn't have to be very loud, it's very hard to hear these because they don't get very loud. And despite not getting very loud, you can hear these from a distance. So if I turn this up, if I connect something to this because I've already got it connected, let me just give a demonstration. So I hope you guys could hear that because what I'm trying to point out is that despite it not getting very loud, that you can hear these from a distance. And I know, again, none of this sounds like counterintuitive, like is it loud or is it not? But what I'm saying is that I would want these to have some sort of technology to where only you could hear it, but other people can't. Because I've seen glasses that do that, where you take it off and you can barely hear it. But these are not like that. You put these volume to the max and somebody beside you could hear it. Two people away from you, they could still hear it. They could make out the words. They could hear every single thing that's going on. But you would struggle to hear it if there's external noise. So that sucks. So the speakers, again, sound quality is good. Volume is horrible. Maybe there will be some kind of software. Maybe there's an app you can use to turn that up and that would fix that. But again, you still run into the problem if everybody else can hear what you're hearing. Now let's talk about the other reason people would buy these. And this is one of the things that I've seen people returning this for the most. And that is the camera. Okay, the camera has a lot of problems. Okay, first of all, the quality is horrible. Now look, I get it. It's a small, tiny, tiny, tiny camera. It's discreet, like it's just there in the corner. You don't really notice it. I get it. It's small. It's not supposed to be some 50 megapixel camera. I get that. Okay. But I think they could have done better with quality. I've seen like what the Go 3 footage looks like, and that camera's not much bigger than this. If you compare that, this camera quality is just garbage. The other thing, you cannot change the orientation. You cannot change it from 16:9 to 9:16. Why not? Why, like, that doesn't make any sense. I get it. They're trying to cater to people who make TikToks and YouTube shorts, but it just seems obvious to be able to switch back and forth between 9:16 or 16:9, depending on what you want. But they don't. They only give you one orientation with horrible quality in the orientation. Now, here's the worst part about this, and I know people hate this. Now, if I go here to do anything, any kind of recording, let's say I snap a photo, there's a big light there that shines. Okay, and it's even brighter if you record a video and it pulses. It like pulses like that. If I cover this up, though, you may think that would just be the solution, right? Put a cover on it. But here's what happens if you do that. I'm getting...
The capture LED is blocked. Unblock the front of the glasses to use the camera.
And there you go. So that is, I know, the number one reason people do this. Like, people return this. I mean, I've seen that everywhere. And I get it. I get why. Because what is the point of what is the point of Meta going through all of this to make this super discreet, like to put it near the corner? For me, it'd be better to put it here in the middle, right? If you don't want it to be discreet, put the camera in the middle, because in the corner, when you want to record something, you have to almost like turn your face at it, right? So you got to like turn your head. Like, let's say I wanted to record something here in this center here. If I wanted to do that, I'd have to like turn my head like this and look at it like weird because the lens is here. Okay, if they would have put it here, you could just look at something straight on, right? But what's the point, Meta, of you guys putting it here to try to be discreet and not noticeable, but then you're going to go add a huge LED light that you cannot bypass? And look, I know there is a way to bypass it. I won't say the way in this video because I'm afraid if I do, they're going to add some kind of patch or something in the future to do it. If you guys want to know if this video even gets any views or enough views, if you guys want to know how to bypass that, I can let you guys know. Just comment down below. But there is a way to bypass it. Again, I won't say it, but the way to do it is very, very inconvenient. And because it requires you to, I don't want to say too much, but basically it requires you to take a few extra steps to just record. And you can't, the way you bypass it, you can't take any photos. So the photos won't work. But you bypass it, you can still do video, but it takes a lot of extra steps and it just makes it really inconvenient. Every time you need to take a video, you have to go through these sequence of steps. And again, it's just inconvenient, and it just takes away the whole reason of like why even have like a super discreet camera there if you have to go through all the steps and you have a big blinking light. Like, the number one reason people want this because like they don't, maybe they want to record an interview or something without sticking a camera in somebody's face, because the way somebody responds when you stick a camera in their face is completely different than the way they respond and who they are if they don't even know they're being recorded. So maybe you want to capture those genuine moments from people, or just with your kids or with your family, right? Without them feeling weird or, changing their attitude. Like, you want to just capture them and how they really are, their true smile, the true behavior, without, again, sticking your camera in their face, having the distraction of your phone, and just record that. But when you go add this big blinking bright light, then it just ruins all that. It's completely pointless. So the camera on this is pointless, useless. The smart features are useless. Absolutely. You saw me try to use it earlier. Absolutely garbage. Okay. I'll use it again, just so you guys are like, because I only asked it, I think, 2 questions. How are you? And translate this. So let's put it back on. Hey, Meta. What am I looking at?
The capture LED is blocked.
Okay. No, the capture LED is blocked. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Hey, Meta. What's 346 times 4,267?
I can't do that on your glasses. glasses.
Okay, so I asked it like that should be. What's the point? You know, okay, so the smart features are garbage. The camera is garbage. Quality and the fact that it's just, you can't even use it, you know, without there being a big blinking LED, like freaking, like your goddamn airplane in the sky, a light on your face. Like, it's just garbage. And also the style. All right, last but not least, the style, in my opinion, is garbage. Okay, they just look retarded to me. These were the closest style I could find that look like men's glasses, but to me they still look like something like a sexy librarian would wear, which is not what I'm trying to go for. Like, I feel like these are not made for men. Okay, they look too girly for me. I don't know, they just look weird. They look weird on my face. I personally like aviators. If they made these in aviators, I'd probably keep these. I still might keep these. I don't know why, and the only reason why is because there's not really any other alternatives out there for something like this. There's not. If you guys know of any, let me know. But as of right now, there's not. And another feature these have that, you know, I didn't mention is these are transition lenses. So they go from clear to black. And that's the only reason I'm considering keeping these, is because they have the speakers and they go from, you know, clear to black and daylight. I'll show you guys some footage of that ear transition. And I don't know of any other glasses that offer that do that. If there were, I would definitely return these and get those, because as you've seen, these are just garbage. They're horrible. I don't even know why they'd release these, like thinking that they're amazing, and why people give them reviews saying, "Oh, it's so cool." You guys saw how useless they are. Like, what can you do with these? You can listen to music and look ridiculous, because I'll show you a video of me with these on. Like, the style, in my opinion, is just, it looks weird, right? It looks weird on me, and I don't think that's just because of me. I think just the style of these is weird. I don't think they made any of these for men. They all look like they're made for women, which is a shame. Like, why wouldn't you make, you know, some for men? They're all made for women. So style is weird. Everything sucks. That's the basis of this video. No, like, I don't even know if I'll return them or not. I'm still on the fence. If there's an alternative, I will. If I can find an alternative, if you guys know of any alternate smart glasses. And here's the thing, there are some out there, but they're just missing some features. Like, they don't have the transition lenses, which is a bother to me, because it's either like, well, you can only wear them inside or you can only wear them outside. That's the one thing I love about these, is that you can wear them inside and outside and they'll just adjust for you. But outside of that, they're horrible. And, you know, maybe in the future there'll be some software update. I don't think they'll ever add ChatGPT to these. They're going to stick with their stupid, retarded Meta. They can't do jack. But hopefully there are some updates to this. One thing I forgot to mention about the camera is that it can record up to 3 minutes, but only up to 3 minutes. It used to be 1 minute, which is absolutely ridiculous. Now it can record up to 3, which I have found to be sufficient. I rarely go over that. But still, it's just, that's not the problem with these. The problem is you got this huge blinking, flashing light, and the camera quality itself is just garbage. It sucks, and you can't change orientation. That's it for my little review. I'm not here to talk about specs. I'm just here to talk about what it's like, what it's been like to use these, okay? I'm not here to talk about the features, because the specs and the features don't matter if 50% of the time it doesn't even work, right? Why does it doesn't matter? Specs, features, screw all that if this thing doesn't even do what it said it's supposed to do. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of my review. I wouldn't recommend picking these up. It might be worth like $100, but over that, dude, it's not worth it. Like, save your money, save it until something better comes out, or save it for like the G1 smart glasses or something like that. Glasses that can actually translate languages, that actually have useful smart features. There's some glasses out there that have ChatGPT built into it. Get something like that if you're looking for smart glasses, okay? A lot of those, they don't have cameras in them. Oh, there it is. Meta Smart. Should be called Meta Retarded Glasses. That'd be a better name if they called it that. You know, it'd make more sense. So there you guys go. The Meta Retarded Glasses. Wouldn't recommend them. Save your money. Get something else.